Hello to all of my beautiful snow angels. It is me, Ivory Snow, and today I am going to give you the real rundown on how you can use certain skills to make the most money out of Second Life. I hope you're looking forward to it. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if it helps you. And right now, let's jump right into the intro.
Right away to a brighter day, like a bag, couple tickets, hopping on the plane, in a different country with each other,
Today's video is going to be very straightforward. I know this is probably not the first video that you've seen on how to make money in Second Life, and it surely won't be your last. However, I do want to give the disclaimer that there are often times where people are told, well, you know, go work at a club, go get a role play business job, start a community. And I feel like I've said this before on my channel, but a lot of those ways to make money, you're not really gonna make money, like money that you can cash out in Second Life. And if you guys want to learn more about cashing out lend-ins, we can definitely talk about that at a later time. But today I really want to focus on specific skills that you can either learn or skills that you already have that you can adapt to Second Life so that you can actually make money that can pay your real life bills. It is possible. Now, with that being said, these 5 skills are not something easy. This is definitely going to be something that you have to dedicate time to throughout your week, especially if you have never tried any of these things before. So the first skill that I want to talk about is animating. The skill that I want to discuss that is going to make you a pretty good return for your time as far as lending goes is animations. Whether that be a dance, a pose, what have you. Animations are a great way to start a business in Second Life that you can cash out for real life money. The Second Life wiki definitely goes into detail the things you need to do to get your animations into Second Life. There is a specific file that you have to file extension that you have to export the animation as in order to get the animation into Second Life. Now, a good way to learn how to make animations and poses, I would recommend just first starting off learning Blender and learning, you know, how Blender works, because what you would do is you would take the Second Life avatar rig, the avatar body, import it into Blender, and then you would just start, you know, posing the bones. There is a pose maker that you can use in World. I've personally never used it. I've heard that it can be a little bit janky to create new poses with, but it is very beginner friendly if you are intimidated by you know, learning Blender at first. There are some great tutorials on YouTube. I would definitely check out Yo Big Mama, her how to create bento poses for Second Life in Blender 2.91 using Avastar. There's also another tutorial by Chris2 Designs, animation process for Second Life in Blender. And what you would need eventually, like once you're more comfortable with learning how to make animations and poses, you definitely would need something like Avastar or Bento Buddy to get your bento poses and things like that. But you know, like poses and dances, they are going to get you into like shopping events. It will also allow you to get on like weekend sales and things like that. And you can even like take your pose making to the next level. You can hire a mesher to make props for you, and you can like create some cute little RP style pose sets for your customers. And I would say that this is a very great business to start up. Making poses like static poses or breathing animations, I feel like that is going to have a bit less of a learning curve versus making like dances, like dance animations. So definitely do what your comfort level is. Now, if you're somebody that already knows how to animate, then all you really need to learn how to do is just do the same thing but with the Second Life rig, you know, the Second Life bones. I think if you already know how to animate, maybe you work for a game dev company, you know, maybe you do animations and I don't know, whatever for game companies. So if that's something that you do in real life, you can definitely start up your own business in Second Life, and it could be pretty lucrative for you. I highly recommend you also, if you're just starting out, don't feel like you only have to watch like Second Life tutorials on how to animate and make poses. I think one thing that people often get confused about when they're trying to learn how to be a creator in Second Life is they only search for videos that are Second Life specific, and you can honestly learn a lot about creating in general, no matter what the skill is. If it's animation, if it's another skill that we talk about today, don't be afraid to watch people that are making like poses or dances for things that aren't Second Life specifically, and you'll learn a lot from there. And if you are learning how to make poses, or if you just recently learned it, let me know in the comment section. I would love to come check out your store. I'm always looking for poses and dances. But now we're going to jump into another skill that would be really helpful. The next skill that I want to introduce you to is scripting. So most things in Second Life that are interactive, they run off of scripts. So if you know how to script, you will be actually setting yourself up to make bank, because you know a lot of people don't know LSL. And if you're confused about what LSL is, it's the lending scripting language. So I feel like if you are already someone who does coding, which is kind of like basically what this is, you're like coding things in Second Life. If you are already familiar with coding, you definitely have a one-up on people that would be learning this for the first time. A lot of people in Second Life, you know, a lot of creatives, we might mesh something, we might want to make something interactive, and we want it to do a specific thing, and we want people to interact with it in a particular way, but we don't know how to script it. So there are tons and tons and tons of creators that are always looking for someone to make a custom script for their item. And I think that this is also something that you can learn how to do. Even if you're not familiar with coding, there are tons of tutorials on the Second Life wiki. If you just type in learn LSL, one of the first things that will pop up is the LSL tutorial. And there is the College of Scripting, Music, and Science. They have tons and tons of like tutorials and tips and tricks, and you can start selling your scripts in the marketplace. You can definitely advertise that, hey, I'm a scripter. If you're looking to work with anyone, let me know. And you can definitely start your own business as a scripter in Second Life. And again, not many people are, you know, self-proclaimed like scripters. You won't always find people that say, yeah, I make scripts, yeah, like I know how to do that. You'll often find a lot of people who mesh or texture or like rig and do animations and things like that. But I would say that scripters are often in high demand. Now, there are several YouTube tutorials, and because LSL, to my knowledge, I don't think there has been many changes throughout the years with the coding language that Second Life uses. So I think if you watch a tutorial that's even from like 2014 or like 2016, I think they're still pretty relative to today. So I definitely suggest you either adapt what you know for coding into learning the language that Second Life uses, which is LSL. I think that could be something that you can use to make money in Second Life, or you can learn from scratch. And another bonus tip is just to go into the Second Life search and just type in like learn scripting or scripting school. I'll put some in the comment section or on the screen if I find the name of the school. But there are lots of schools in world that are normally free, where people come together, and you will usually have a person who is very knowledgeable in LSL, and they'll teach scripting and things like that. So definitely check that out. And again, if you are a scripter, let me know, because I'm actually looking for a scripter. I have a really important project that I'm trying to do, and I want a scripter for it. So if that's something you are very knowledgeable and skilled in, holler at your girl. The next skill that I want to talk about, I know some people may raise an eyebrow at me, but hear me out, okay? if you know how to DJ, if you know how to keep a party going, if you are actually like a good mixer, and maybe you're not just playing like a mix off of YouTube or something, but like you are a legit DJ. Do you know like some DJs charge like 3K, 5K an hour? I know, because I recently had to hire a DJ, and I didn't know that, you know, the prices were going up, the things were getting expensive. But hear me out here. Let's say that you are someone who wants to make money in Second Life, but you don't, hello Aria. Let's say that you are someone who is in Second Life, but you don't necessarily have like the time to like learn how to script, learn how to animate, learn how to mesh, but you do want to make enough money that you can go shopping and maybe have like a home or something like that in Second Life, and you don't have to like upload Linden, but you know, you don't want to be like pinching pennies or something like that. If you learn how to DJ and if you master that, you are going to be caking. Let's say you charge people like 3K an hour, right? That's 6K. You do maybe 2 or 3 parties a day. You do that like 5 to 7 times. Like, you do the math, right? You're doing the math, you following me? Now that's just the hourly fee. Now let a DJ res a tip jar. I have seen DJs make anywhere from like 5K to 10K in tips at a party. I think the lowest you might usually see sometimes is like 2 or 3K if a party is not that, like, you know, if it's a smaller party. But these DJs are making bank, and I definitely see why DJs have groupies now, because they got money. Don't sleep on learning how to DJ. My brother actually used to be a Second Life DJ, and from my understanding, what you need to do is you need to learn how to use virtual DJ. And again, if you are already a DJ in your everyday life, and that's something that you know how to do, you know how to live mix, you know all of the things, this is definitely 100% the job for you. I do know of an entertainment company that is called Sneaky Link Entertainment. I'll also put their information in the description box. So again, if you are a DJ, you know what you're doing, you're about your business, and you know how to show up to work, and you have a great personality, and maybe you've only been in Second Life for like, I don't know, 6 months to a year, I do think joining an entertainment company, especially something as like prolific as Sneaky Link Entertainment, that might be a come up for you, because they are an amazing entertainment company in SL. They're doing a lot of great things on the grid, and I feel like we can always use more super talented DJs. But again, if you are learning, there are some people who teach how to become a DJ, like they teach how to use virtual DJ and stuff like that. And then you can also, again, go to the University of YouTube, see how to do it, because honestly, DJing is not, like, virtual DJ is not something that you necessarily have to learn like in Second Life. You don't need someone to like teach you that. There are people who will, because mostly what you'll just need is like your virtual DJ, your music, your talent, your skills, a good ear, a good personality, and then you'll also need your own stream, which you will get that from Shoutcast. So again, if you are someone who is active in Second Life, but you don't want to make nothing, you don't want to learn like how to be in Blender and mesh something, you don't want to learn how to make scripts or animations, definitely consider becoming a DJ, because if you like having groupies, child, the groupies be out with the DJs, and they be cute too. And I've seen this in all communities of Second Life, whether it's music that's like, you know, DJs are playing hip hop, or it's like a rock club, a techno club, the DJs are making bank, okay? Like, trust me, if you are charging, I've seen people charge like 5 to 7K like for sets, and it's just like, okay, if you do a couple of parties a night, like let's say it's a rainy day and you're home on a Saturday and you just do like 3 or 4 parties of Second Life and you're getting tips for all those parties, you are making money you never have to upload, okay? And then I feel like if you are the type, maybe like, I don't know, like you're just home a lot and you're not working full time, if you are really on your grind, you could probably end up cashing out as a DJ. Don't quote me on that, but like you can do some real numbers as a DJ. The next skill I want to discuss is 3D modeling. And I feel like this is one skill that so many people are always very eager to learn. But I do want to approach different ways that you can do this to make money in Second Life, right? So you can do what I'm doing, which is learning how to 3D model to start your own store. And I'm going to be honest, like it does take effort to become a great 3D modeler, because what you don't want to do is sell meshes that are janky. You don't want to sell something that is too high poly for Second Life, and you're literally killing people's PCs with your too high poly mesh and SL, lagging people. So it is definitely more so a art form first. You have to appreciate the art that is 3D modeling, and this is something that I am very, very, very going to like drill in, because a lot of people want to learn how to mesh, and again, they're doing it for a quick check. And you will make some good money as a 3D modeler in Second Life. It will be very lucrative, but it's only going to be lucrative once you have fully developed that skill set, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just say, okay, now I learned how to mesh, now I'm gonna open a store, now I'm gonna release this. And it's just like, babe, you're not even using baked shadow and like baked lighting in Substance Painter. Like, this looks flat, like your topology is messed up, like this, no. Like, no. So if this is the avenue that you want to go down, so that you can make real life money, you know, pay some real life bills with your Second Life business, you can definitely do it. But just promise me that when you do it, you are actually going to take the time to learn what you're doing. And believe me, I learned the hard way. I thought that I could just, okay, I learned how to mesh, now I'm so ready to open the store. And it's just like discouraging, because I could have just waited and continued to develop my skill and then launched. So do not be so eager to open up a store yet, because 3D modeling, again, will make you big bucks to the point where you can cash out, maybe like weekly, monthly, I don't know, whatever works for you, because you do have to pay fees when you cash out. But yeah, so you'll be able to cash out on a regular basis for sure. But again, this is probably, out of all of the skills we're talking about today, this is definitely going to be something where if you're creating it and you're doing it yourself, you definitely need to be sure that you are good at what you do, you know what you're doing, and it looks good. Because if not, then I'm just gonna be honest with you, you're not really going to be making money. So in terms of like learning how to 3D model, or if you are already a 3D modeler, I should say, sorry. And I'm just going to be 100% transparent with you guys here. I think a lot of the time when people want to learn how to use Blender or ZBrush or Cinema 4D, what do we all do? We Google how to make mesh for Second Life, how to make clothes for Second Life, how to make furniture for Second Life. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm not finding the tutorials I want. I don't know how to do anything. And it's because you are so busy on doing it for Second Life, when you literally could watch any 3D modeling tutorial and it's going to show you how to use Blender. Because you don't have to look at a Second Life specific tutorial to learn how to make a bed, to learn how to like make a jacket onto like a mesh body. You can look up any type of tutorial. You can even watch a Sims tutorial. The Second Life aspect more so comes for like making sure that you have the right amount of triangles, that it's not too high poly, that you're uploading the DAE file and things like that. But don't limit yourself to like Second Life only tutorials. Now when it comes to like rigging and like Bento Betty, Avasar, I feel like those are a little bit higher level when you're ready to like rig and do things that are bento and animesh and things like that. But at the beginning, all you need to do is learn how to use the program, Blender. I wouldn't even start with ZBrush. I would not start with Cinema 4D. Just learn Blender. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. And once you learn how to navigate the program, once you learn how to make something as simple as like a cup, a pencil, things like that, you are good to start making more complicated things. And clothing making, like learning different techniques. And I feel like I often find people who are trying to learn how to be a creator in Second Life, and they want to learn how to mesh, and it's like, well, I can't find good tutorials. And I know what that's like, because that was once me. So in order to just learn how to be a 3D modeler, just look up tutorials on YouTube. Like it's going to be really, really easy for you. Do not do that donut tutorial. Like, don't do the donut tutorial. Do not do it. Do not do it. Do not do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. I can't drill that into your head enough. Do not do the donut tutorial, please. You're going to waste your time. It's probably going to be too high poly. Just do not do the donut tutorial. Do any other tutorial besides that. It's a little bit ridiculous, and I think the person who makes that tutorial, they kind of overcomplicate things, and they make it like a 5-part series when it doesn't have to be. But there are so many other getting started on Blender tutorials that you could watch for like 20 or 30 minutes, and it's going to be a great foundation. Now, if you do want to take a class with people who are taking students in Second Life, you know, these are people who do create for Second Life. They know what works, they know the proper techniques. If that's something that you also want to do in addition to YouTube University, I do recommend that. I have done that because, again, like, you are learning from people who know what they're doing. Like, they know how to get your stuff uploaded right into Second Life, and, you know, it's not going to reject your item. So there are some people I will recommend. I've taken a class with Maria Lourdes. She's really good. Very, very beginner friendly. I am taking another class to perfect my skills at rigging, which is something else that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But I'm taking another class just to get better at like clothing making and rigging with someone named Djing, and I've heard great things about her course. A friend of mine that has a store, Baka SL, Noodles. I don't know if she has an active class right now, but Noodles is having a class. There's also Mesh Kitty. Those are the people that I recommend. Journey as well. And I'll put all of their flyers like on the screen so that you can see them and pause and know who to contact. But to my knowledge, they are the people that I would recommend that you take a class with. Oftentimes people will have like classes, and it's just like, we could have just watched YouTube, you know what I mean? But there are some people who are going to teach you some really great techniques to get yourself to look good. They're also going to make sure that you know how to use other programs like Substance Painter, ZBrush, and things like that. So yes, you definitely need to put a little bit more time and maybe even some money up to learn this skill. But when I tell you it's going to pay off, like, it's going to pay off. Do you guys know, like, are you familiar with the House of Blueberry and like the things that they do? Like, Blueberry was just like you back in the day, you know. She had a dream. She came with Second Life, she had a dream, she had a vision, and look at them now. And I feel like anybody could be like that next person. And I know so many creators who make a living off of what they do in Second Life. So believe me, 3D modeling is going to be super difficult. I think one of the only things that would be as difficult is scripting, because no thank you for me personally. But yeah, 3D modeling is going to be frustrating. It's going to be a journey, but when I tell you the payoff is going to hit, and I feel like I'm projecting myself to get to the point where the payoff is going to hit, and I'm looking forward to that for myself, and I can't wait to just share the rest of that journey with you all. Now, if you are someone who is already a 3D modeler and you know how to model things and you're familiar with making things low poly, you know how to like bake the details of the high poly mesh to the low poly mesh to get the textures to look right, like, you know, all of the things, I would say to adapt the skill that you already have to Second Life is to either one, just watch like Second Life speed edits on YouTube, slow them down. Off the top of my head, one person that I can think of is Cry Bun Bun. I want to say, I think I've seen Musery even do like some speed edits. Don't quote me. But yeah, there are some people where you can see like in a little bit slower motion what they're doing. But more importantly, the file that you need to upload into Second Life is a DAE file, and then if you go to the Second Life wiki, you are going to get all of the information that you need as far as like how many, like, you know, triangles, what's the triangle limit, and if you want to get like mesh bodies, different mesh kits. Just Google like the different mesh bodies for Second Life so you can see what people are wearing, so that you could get the developer kits and make clothing for that. You also might want some mesh bodies, or even the Second Life default body if you want to make furniture and you just want to, like, you know, scale it or whatever in Blender, you know what I mean. Like you can do that, but it's going to be really easy for you if you already know how to 3D model. Just make sure that you are following the constraints on the Second Life wiki about meshing, and that's going to be linked in the description box as well. But really there's not much you need to know. If you already have that skill set, you are definitely at liberty to start off, you know, right away making some good money that you can convert into real life money. Now, I will say that you might want to get familiar with Avastar and Bento Buddy. And I think that, again, if you're familiar with Blender, those plugins really shouldn't be too complicated to master. And there are several tutorials on YouTube. So if you have any questions, ask me in the comment section. Like if you know how to 3D model and you just need a little bit more clarification, just ask me down below. We could chat for a little bit, I don't mind. But yeah, 3D modeling is definitely a very good skill to have. Now with that, you can either start your own store, or you can make things that are full permission that people can purchase, which brings me to my next skill that we're going to talk about in a second. But yes, you can make full perm items and set those for sale. And you know, everybody in Second Life may not know how to do 3D modeling. They may not know how to mesh, as we say in Second Life. But a lot of people can get in Photoshop and texture something. So you know, you are setting yourself up for something pretty lucrative if you're selling a full perm item in SL. The next skill that I want to talk about that is going to allow you to make big bucks in Second Life is graphic design. And there are a lot of different ways that you can use graphic design to make real life money in Second Life. First of all, branding. There are so many people that are looking for someone to get their branding done. You know, we might know how to 3D model. We might hire someone to make some cute animations so that things are interactive. We might know how to get our textures to look good in Substance Painter, but I don't know anything about like actual graphic design. Like, no. So just like people commission artists to do like Twitch art, like Twitch panels and things like that, you have store owners in Second Life who are looking for branding packages. So, you know, logos, marketplace banners, Facebook banners, Flickr banners, unpackers, like all of those things. And I mean, if your skill set is there, you can definitely charge a pretty penny that you can cash out into real life money. And again, I know so many people that are always looking for someone to, you know, do their branding. I feel like a lot of people often go to like the same people, and either the wait list is long, or, you know, they just want a different art style. And I do think that as far as like having a branding business goes, I would say that it would be nice to see some like fresh faces, fresh businesses, you know, other people that do branding packages. Now you also have the option to buy items that are full perm, and you can texture them. Again, if you're good at graphic design, I really don't need to like tell you how to texture like a pair of jeans. But if you're not experienced, you can definitely look up tutorials on YouTube, and you can learn how to texture clothing, you know, how to make a shirt texture, how to do ripped jeans. I would say in the Sims community, or even the MView, I don't know, community, if you want to just like start a business where you're texturing full perm clothes, I would say look at some of their tutorials. I mean, there are some for Second Life, but you know, gatekeeping is also real. And I feel like in the Second Life community is like, you know, you might find something, but the tutorial might be from like 2012. So if you actually want like a solid tutorial that can teach you how to like texture clothing, if you're new, and you know, you don't have a lot of experience with graphic design, but you're willing to learn, and you are willing to be disciplined enough to like learn how to use something like Substance Painter or Photoshop to make clothing. Those tutorials are out there. They may not necessarily be in the Second Life community, but you'll find some, especially like from the Sims community. And you can definitely learn or use a skill that you already have, how to texture full perm items, be they clothing, furniture, what have you, and start your own store that way. And if you are really, really good, like really, really good with your texturing and good at what you do, people will buy it, especially like if you set the right price. Because it's not an original mesh, some people do turn their nose up at full perm mesh items, but I feel like if you set the right price point, and if you make sure that your ads look good, you definitely will be able to make some decent money off of that you could potentially cash out into real life money. But again, you definitely have to make sure that your graphics are on point if you are using full perm items. Oftentimes what you'll see is like people will get a full perm item and just like the textures don't look pretty nice at all, like they don't look good. The ads are just like a screenshot and they put words on it. Like it does not look good. But you would actually be surprised to know how many people use full perm items, or people who hire mesh creators. You know, they'll hire someone like, you know, myself or someone else who knows how to make like furniture or things like that. They'll say, I need you to make this for me. How much do you want for it? Okay, you want $50 US, $100 US to mesh it. Cool. Well, once you give that to me, give me everything I need, give me the maps, or, you know, send me the file. I'm going to put it in Substance Painter, texture it, and sell it. And basically, you know, the mesher did the work, but you're going to get all of that income for, you know, even a custom mesh item. So you'd be surprised as to like how many people do that. And, you know, they don't know how to mesh, but they can texture their behind off, and they are making bank. So don't be discouraged if you don't want to mesh, or if you don't know how to mesh, but you definitely want to make clothing. You can buy things that are full perm. You can hire someone to make something that's custom just for you, and you have a lot of earning potential there. So whether you choose to become an animator, a scripter, a DJ, a 3D modeler, or what we call in Second Life a mesher, or a graphic designer, all of these skills will definitely allow you to make some big old linden. You can definitely secure the bag of lindens that you can cash out into real life money. And some of these skills might be a little bit easier to come by than others, but just remember, the harder work you have to put in, the bigger the payoff. And I'm going to, again, leave descriptions. I'm also going to put links in the description box to the Second Life wiki that's going to help you get to the right places if you want to learn how to do any of these. And if these are skills that you already have, then why aren't you already like doing your business in Second Life? Like, what is your excuse? What is your excuse? You know how to make animations? What is your excuse? Get to work. good to work. Nobody wants to work anymore. It's like everybody wants to be lazy. So take those skills and do something and make money, because you know what? If you're working full time, but you got your side gig in Second Life, that might be enough money for you to like pay a light bill, buy groceries, and, you know, eventually pay rent, you know, pay your mortgage. It depends on how much effort you are willing to put into this. So have fun making money, have fun learning those skills. If you want to ask me any questions, or if you need some help, or you have, you know, things that you want clarified, let me know in the comment section. I will be down there waiting for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have fun securing the bag, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Tickets hopping on the plane, hit a different country with each other, change your last name. Tell me, is you with it? Cause I'm with it. Why don't you feel the same? Down, 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 down. Knew you was different from the start, love. How you learn? They never taught love.